Hi and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm a full-time engineer, part-time creator. I'm a photographer, videographer, and YouTuber. Today, I'm going to unbox this brand new M3 Max MacBook Pro 16-inch, and I'm going to share with you why I chose a certain spec, a certain color, and hopefully it could help you out in making your selection as well. I spent the last month doing research, watching videos online to make sure that I made the right decision. So today, I'm gonna share with you why I picked this certain spec, and hopefully it will help you cut down on your research. So let's get started with unboxing. So in this video, I'm going to share with you about why I chose this certain processor, which is an M3 Max, why I chose a certain storage, a certain RAM speed, and a certain color. I will not be discussing the benchmarks, comparing different kind of laptops with you because there are so many videos out there already. Currently, this is my 2019 i9 MacBook Pro, and it's what I'm upgrading from. It's a 16-inch laptop. And unfortunately, the time that I bought it, I thought it would last me for a little bit longer. That was the last year before Apple started introducing the M1 processors and kind of cut its life short. So here we have a silver M3 Max MacBook Pro 16-inch. I have not actually seen this color in person. What I'm going to share with you though is a breakdown of my logics of why I picked this certain color, this certain spec, and this certain storage. So I assume, like you, when I first started looking at these review videos, a lot of them were the M3 Max maxed out version that was sent out by Apple to all of these YouTubers to review, and they raved about them. I really want to spend the time to research on my own, come to my own conclusions, watch some real live people who purchased the MacBook to get a better idea, because I didn't really trust other YouTubers what they have to say. I feel like they're a little biased towards Apple to begin with. So I spent a lot of time over the last month research and trying to figure out which configuration I want. Do I want an M3 Pro? Do I want an M3 Max? Do I want a space black? Do I want a silver? I feel like those are the two decisions that a lot of people are stuck with. And what memory, what hard drive do I want? So why the M3 Max? As I mentioned, I spent a lot of time over the last few months looking over and trying to decide between the M3 Pro or the M3 Max. And what it came down to really is the performance. I prefer performance over efficiency. If you look at the spec of the M3 Pro, which has 12 cores, and it's 6 performance cores and 6 efficiency core, and it's got 18 GPU cores. This M3 Max that I got, which is the lower end one, it's got 14 cores, 10 performance versus 4 efficiency, and it's got 40 GPU cores. So personally, for my use case, which is photo editing, video editing, encoding and decoding videos, I feel like the extra performance cores would help me more than the efficiency cores. And then the extra GPU cores would really be beneficial to me. And unlike a lot of people who travel a lot and work at coffee shops and stuff like that, who might need the efficiency, who might need the extra battery power, I don't really do that a lot. I work a lot here at my home computer, or I'm at my workplace, or I'm traveling at the airport. And I feel like for those short flights that I'm on most of the time, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, this should be more than plenty of power for me to do that. If I need to plug it in along the way, I can. Plus also, I read a report that the M3 Max, top of the line, which got 16 cores and 40 GPU cores, only last about 15% less than the M3 Pro. So roughly about 2 hours, and I feel like I could live with that for more performance. Moreover, I also deal with a lot of 4K footage. Like now, I have a 4K video here. I have a 4K video up here. Sometimes I add effects, I add transitions and stuff like that. So I feel like the extra power would really help me get through those edits and not stuttering. I saw a review from a guy who bought an M3 Pro 16 inches like this, and he said that his video kind of stuttered just a little bit. And if I want to spend the money on a new computer, I really don't want to have to deal with editing on 50% or editing on 25% or proxy and stuff like that. I just want the power to be able to do what I needed to do when I needed to do. And if I have a little less battery, that's okay. If I'm gonna spend the money, I might as well just get the performance that I need, because it's gonna be used plugged in 80% of the time anyway. and the little extra money for the gap is not that big of a deal. The second category that I chose is 36 gigs of RAM. Reason being is I feel like that's the minimum that you need to have to do what we want to do as far as photo editing. Lightroom really likes the RAM. It will help with video editing, though not as much. Personally, I would have preferred a 64 gigs of RAM laptop. However, to do that, the way Apple structured this, which I feel like a little shady and a little bad, they made it so that if I want 64 gigs of RAM, I have to upgrade to the next M3 Max level. Currently, I have a 64 gigs of RAM M1 Mac Studio at home, which is sitting right there. And so if I need that extra power that this one can't provide, which I don't think that's the case anymore, then I can always go there. But I think this will be able to do everything I want it to do. Why did I go with 1 terabyte hard drive? It all goes back to 2013 when I bought my first MacBook Pro for school, and I was low cheap. So I went with 128 gigs, if you know, if you recall, to go way back that far. And I constantly had to delete stuff, not have enough room. And I said to myself, I will never buy a computer to a point where I constantly have to do that. Now, this is a 1 terabyte hard drive, which I feel is the minimal for what I need to do while I'm on the go. If I need to have 1 or 2 videos on here at a time, it's fine. If I need to have a decent size of Lightroom library on here, that would also be fine. But the other thing is, I constantly work between my laptop and my computer at home here, the Mac Studio. So I'm constantly on one of these T5 or T7 SSD anyway. So there's really no reason for me to put more hard drive space in here than that, since I'm moving projects between computers, so it's always live on the SSD. So lastly, the color. This is the first time that we're seeing this color in person together. Currently, I'm using this space gray MacBook Pro. So I really went back and forth a lot between, do I want the silver or do I want the space black? I actually went to Best Buy a couple times to look at the space black MacBook Pro. While I wanted that space black because it's like color specific to this model, it didn't really speak to me. Like I just said, oh, I must have that. And then there's some other things like fingerprint. Well, I don't really worry too much about fingerprint. I am a little OCD. I don't want fingerprints on my laptop, and I don't want to have to constantly wipe it down. So I tried a little fingerprint test, which was fine. The biggest reason that I went with a silver is because the space black laptop is actually a silver laptop that they anodize, which is a coating process, a chemical etching, where what happens time after time is if you were to plug stuff in and you're not careful, you can actually scratch that paint, and then it would show the silver underneath. And since I'm OCD and I bathe my stuff, I just can't really put it myself through that. I don't want to. But most of all, it's just the peace of mind that I know that this scratches on here will not show as easily. And we'll get into this in a little bit. With the way the computers are made nowadays, where you can't put a case on it like I did here. I put a case on this and it protects the laptop, and the laptop actually look pristine. You can't really do that anymore. So I don't really want to do that. Plus, the biggest deal breaker for me is these laptops come with a charging cable, and so it would match, right? Silver would match with silver, but a charging block, like this white charging block, would match somewhat with the silver. You know it's classic Apple, and it just works. But on the black one, they ship with a black cable, but they still ship with a white brick. And I'm like, that just looks terrible. So anyways, here is the silver MacBook Pro. Looks nice, classic silver, I guess. Not any different than the other silver that I remember. So that's why I came up with a configuration that I did. The M3 Max silver, 36 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of SSD. I do have a decision coming up that if you have any experience in, leave a comment down below. It's whether I'm gonna put a case on this or not. I really want to put a case on it because I feel like it helps protect the laptop. You know, sometimes you walk around, bump this into a door frame or something like that, it protects the laptop. But I've read a lot where people are saying that these laptops are made with such precision that you don't want to put a case on it because it would actually damage the screen. So I'm just trying to decide if that's true or not. People also use the phone without a case, and I just can't stand that, so I don't know. But I don't want to ruin the laptop. I don't know what I'm gonna do because when I fly a lot, I have to put this inside of my backpack, and having a case seems to help. And if things are bump against it, it seems to help that as well. So if you have any experience with that, please leave a comment down below and share your experience. That's why I bought this configuration. I hope that helps you decide on your configurations as well. Let me know if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. If you're new here, I'm glad you're here. If you've been here before, thank you so much. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.